Yeah, but just before Dr. T make that presentation, we know that we're just going to play In It to Win It with Lurato Shadari. So as soon as we finish playing that video, then we will hear the mindset. So just stay tuned to In It to Win It with Shadari, Lurato Shadari.
ONPASSIVE. ONPASSIVE, the future of internet.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Wow. In it to win it, everybody.
Wonderful.
In it to win it.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Dr. Tunishai Ford is the founder and CEO of her own Uniqueness Inc., a non-profit 501c3 that deals with self-improvement and overcoming batteries and hinder people from reaching their full potential and walk in their destiny. Of course, she's a international transformational speaker, a life coach, empowerment trainer, and founder. And she's a TV talk show host of the Dr. Tunishai show for 2 seasons. She's also editor and chief of an online international magazine, Discovering You magazine. She also has experience in the business arena doing empowerment and personal achievement workshops and seminars, of which she has one going on even right now. Well, not right now as in now, but on Thursdays. We're splitting ourselves to do that. but yes, definitely. She does have a major workshop going on Thursdays. And definitely in 2018, she started a new entrepreneur training called Step Up Youth and Step Up Ladies. And as I said, that Step Up Ladies is either going on every Thursday, one session in the morning and one session in the evening. And so therefore, with the mindset today, she is going to be looking and focusing on good habits of financial successful people. Good habits of financially successful people. Over to you, Dr. T.
Thank you. I think you are so excited. Those of you that were on O Connect, I think it kind of like Basil, Dr. Derek's mind. So he's stuck over his words right now. So he's so excited. I know it was such an exciting experience just to be able to be a part of history. So I know how you feel, Dr. Derek. I'm with you. I'm there with you. Anyway, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, brand ambassadors, king and queens, and you are definitely kings and queens because you all should be so proud of yourselves that you have taken the first plunge to be a part of something greater than yourself. And so today we want to cover some areas because when we get this money, when we start getting these apples and start using these products, we want to make sure that we have the mindset to be engraved in what Mr. Ashmore is talking about. We don't want to be left behind, not just left behind with the ecosystem, but we don't want to be left behind in anything that's going on in our own worlds, because sometimes we can lose ourselves and not be on point. So we don't want to be involved in that. So tonight, we are going to cover another aspect of financial wealth. Now, last week, I had opportunity to share with you about the bad habits that keep us broke. So I want to reiterate, money is a living entity. That's what I told you all. That was a couple of weeks ago. And money, like any living entity, is governed by a set of rules and principles. And when you violate them, you'll find yourself in a place that you do not desire to be. You must respect money. You must have a positive and wholesome whole relationship with money. And yet last week we covered some of the bad habits that broke people have. We're not all broke. We're not broke, right? We're not in that category. We're just talking about this because we want to there's other folks out there who broke, right? But we're not broke. But I covered those things. And what I want to do before we go to the next segment, we want to recap the 9 habits that I shared with you about bad habits. So the first bad habit, again, is spending too much money on things that depreciate, such as a car or an iPhone. Number 2, relying too much on credit cards. Number 3 bad habit, buying lottery tickets too often. Number 4, spending money as soon as they get it. Number 5, gambling. The 6th one is eating an unhealthy diet. Number 7, hanging out with toxic people. And number 8, procrastination. And the last one, keeping a job you hate. Now, those were the bad habits. You already know, let's be real. We already know there's so many more bad habits. I just chose those 9 for the sake of this particular webinar. But there's so many other bad habits that broke people have that we want to stay out of that arena, okay? So I just wanted to share that with you, but now we're going to move forward and we're going to talk about the good habits of financially successful people. Now, having money, as I told you all before, has very little to do or not a whole lot to do with how much you make, all right? There are people who are not millionaires who are very, very happy with themselves. They're at peace. They may not make a lot of money, but the thing is, it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money is left over after you've taken care of your obligations, how much money is left over that you can enjoy, all right? And that's what wealth is all about. That's what having a peace of mind is all about. So we're going to learn some of the positive things that people who are wealthy, and again, when I say wealthy, it doesn't mean you have to be a millionaire. I'm talking about a wealthy mindset. Always keep that in mind. This is all about mindset. So we're going to learn 9 habits that people who have a handle on their money know about. The first good habit is they set goals, okay? And they are disciplined and they plan. I'm going to say that again. The first good habit is they set goals, they are disciplined and they plan. They start off by setting small goals, and then you get off to the more critical goals. I always tell people, start off small. Don't when you buy the apple, when you eat the apple, it's one bite at a time. Nobody eats the apple by just putting it all in their mouth. So when you set goals, set off setting small goals first. And then when you master those and you accomplish those, then you go to the more critical ones. Like, for example, one financial goal might be I just want to save some money. Okay. So that might just start off by putting $5, $10 aside every single week or however often you're getting paid. That's a goal. And you may say, well, my goal is by the end of the year, I want to have $1,000, or it might be more than that, depending on how much you put aside. But that's a realistic goal, depending on how much money that you make. All right. In other words, they decide what they want their finances to become. Where do you want your money to go? What is the purpose of your money? Think about that. They decide what they want their money, their finances to become. What do you want your finances to become? Remember, it's a living entity. So you've got to ask yourself, if you want to be wealthy, if you want to have the proper mindset, where do you want your money to go? What are you going to be doing with your money? Okay, they choose a primary goal for their money. For example, getting out of debt, becoming financially independent, or buying a house. Those are just some examples. We're still on habit number 1. Okay, so those are the points. They may start off setting small goals, and then they go up to the critical ones. They want to decide on where their money is going, and then they choose a primary goal for their money, such as buying a home or getting out of debt. Good habit number 2, they know their assets. A person who has a mindset for wealth, they know their assets. They know their assets and they know their liabilities. They know the real value of their assets. That's very important. If you're going to have a mindset to be wealthy, what are your liabilities? What are your assets? That's something that a person who's building wealth has to understand. Okay? Good habit number 3, they know what they are good at, and that's what they work on. They know what they're good at and they know what they're not good at. So this is what you want to do. You want to work on your strengths and you want to work on your weaknesses. You want to pronounce your strengths and you want to work on your weaknesses. Okay, they work on improving their weaknesses to get better at achieving their goals. Like, for example, if you're not good with handling money, you want to build wealth, but you're not real good with handling money, or you may not be good with budgeting. They have all kinds of tools out there that you can find that will help you budget your money. All right, that's why they have banks. This is why they have different credit unions. They have different apparatuses that you can utilize to budget your money. That may not be your area of expertise. That may not be your area of strength. All right. Even if you have a mate, if you're married and your mate is better at handling money, then give that responsibility to he or she. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't capitalize on what you're not good at right now. You want to capitalize what you're good at. Your strength might be managing, being able to delegate and know where your money is going, being able to see where your money is going. That's what your strength might be. So work on those areas. Good habit number 4, they educate themselves about money. That's a biggie. Now, this is something that a lot of people do not take the time to do. They don't read books, they don't read articles, they don't go to seminars. So they just let things go. And that's a bad habit. We don't want to get involved in that. But a person who is trying to build wealth, a person that has the proper mindset, they educate themselves about money. Okay? They know about the different assets that they can invest. They know about inflation and stock markets. They understand their country's retirement system so they can make a good plan for retirement. How many of you, some of us are older and we're getting ready to retire, or some of us may have already retired. Do you have a retirement plan in place? That is so important. Do you have a retirement plan in place? Some people don't even have a retirement plan. They may just be living off of a small pension, or they may be getting Social Security. I know in America, United States, people, when they retire or they get a certain age, they get Social Security. I promise you, that is not enough to live on. So right away, when you're getting money, when you get this money, whether it's on passive or if you have children who are younger, start encouraging them now to think of a plan. So when they get to be an older person, when they become a senior, they would not be poor. They would not be broke. That's the word we used last time. They would not be broke. So you need to understand, I don't know, some countries may not have Social Security, but I know that we do. But I know that every country has a way that you can invest and save your money. And those are the things you should be looking at, because one day we keep living, we're going to get older. And then they educate themselves about money as new things are coming out. Like, for example, cryptocurrency and buying gold. You keep apprised on what is going on. Keep abreast on new things that are coming out concerning money. Read, talk to different people. Find a financial planner. Get involved with your money. Don't be afraid of it. Again, it's a living entity, and you want to have a relationship with it. Okay? Good habit number 5. They are smart about debt. I want to say that again. Good habit number 5. They are smart about debt. They do not take on bad debts, such again as the things that depreciate over time. Okay? And they take advantage of good debt for leverage, such as having a mortgage. Another thing that's a good debt. You may say, what's a good debt, Tunishai? A good debt might be having a student loan, getting a small business loan, things like that. Now, why is that a good debt? You have a monthly bill. It's a good debt. A good debt is anything that's going to help you advance. All right. Like, for example, you might get a home improvement loan. That may be a loan. It may be a monthly bill, but that particular loan is going to help you improve your home. If you want to sell your home or eventually move out of it and rent it out, that's going to increase the value of the home. That's a good debt, right? Okay. A student loan, anything that's going to help you become educated and get a better paying job, that's a good debt. So even though you might be paying a monthly bill, you will still be involving yourself in those things that are going to help you advance in your life. That's what they call a good debt. So when you say that you hear the word debt, that's not a negative thing. It depends on where that debt is going to take you. Like we talked about a car, or we talked about an iPhone. Anything that's going to eat up your money, but it's not going to advance you. It's just eating your money up. It's your high interest, your credit cards and things like that. That is called a bad debt. So number 5, they are smart about debts. All right, let's move on. Number 6, they invest their money. Of course they do. A person that is thinking about building their wealth, they invest their money. They understand inflation and how to fight it. And they understand that investing helps you grow your money. Now, again, I am not a financial planner, so I cannot give you advice about that. But I can say, if this is an area that you have not gotten involved in yet, I would suggest very highly that you either find a financial planner, talk to somebody who's in the stock market who understands that, and think about investing so that you can grow your money. Okay, even when you start getting on passive. Okay, again, all this money that may come in your way, you want to be able to put it somewhere where you can see it growing and see that it's working somewhere. You don't want to just get the money and just going all over the place. You want to be able to get the money and see that it's helping somebody, that it's helping a situation, that is bettering other people's lives. And the way to do that is to make sure that it's invested so you can watch it and know where it is. All right. Good habit number 7. This is so important. You may say, what does that have to do with money? Okay, it's very important. Good habit number 7. They strategically select who is in their inner circle, including their mate. Wow. Okay, I will say that again. They strategically select who is in their inner circle, including their mate. Do you understand that people who are wealth-minded, people who have a positive mindset about wealth, they don't hang out. We talked about the negative and the bad habits. They don't hang out with people who do not have the same mindset. All right. And a lot of times, the person that is in the circle is not so much that they are just great people. All right. And the same thing on the other side. A person who's broke, or a person who does not have a lot of money, is not necessarily a bad person. They're just not going where you're going. They don't have the mindset to thrive. All right. There's so many people who are good people, but they're not doing anything. They're couch potatoes. Okay. They have no ambition. A person who is wealth-minded has ambition, and they're going to surround themselves with other people who have ambition, who understand how money works, who has an understanding of where they want their money to go, even when they make a mate selection. Do you know that the wrong man or woman can kill your dreams? I have seen this so many times, where a man may marry a woman because she looks good, all the things a man wants in a woman, but yet she has no respect for money, especially your money. Okay, and vice versa. Women marry men who have no respect for money. You do not want to be involved in that. If you look at people who are wealthy, they look at the kind of woman or man that they're married to. They're going to marry people that are going to help elevate them. They're going to have people in their lives that have the mindset of moving forward, not going backward. Because having a purpose in life, you have to have the right people in your circle. So make sure you remember that when you are trying to build wealth and having a healthy mindset, you want to make sure that the people in your inner circle are going the same direction, and even the person that you get involved with. All right. And good habit number 8, they have good health habits. They apply the New Start principle that Dr. Derek taught us. All right. They take care of themselves, spirit, soul, and body. They avoid stress triggers and make it a point to live free from unnecessary conflicts. I don't have to say any more about that. And the last one, good habit number 9, they put into action having a relationship with God. Understand that God is the one who gives us the ability to get wealth. It doesn't make any difference how rich you become. If you do not have a relationship with God, you are going to be in a situation where you may become wealthy in terms of the finances, but will there be a peace? When you are wealthy, when you have a wealth building mindset, there's going to be a peace about it. And that means getting your directions from a higher power. That means going into your prayer closet and asking God, where do you want this money to go? God gives us the ability to get wealth. And do you also know that it's also a covenant? Health, wealth, and positivity and purpose is one of the things that God has for us in terms of a covenant. God made this covenant with our biblical ancestors. So he wants us to thrive and be successful in all of our endeavors. Okay. So, and the last thing, part of this good habit number 9 is to be a giver. Be a wise giver, which is one of the most spiritual gateways to financial freedom and wealth. Remember, I told you all last time, if you have your hands closed, nothing can get in and nothing goes out. When you have your hands open, money can come in and money can go out. Be a wise giver. Make good choices when you decide you want to give. You can't just give to frivolous things. You cannot just give to a bad luck story, okay? You want to make sure that when you give, that you're giving to someone that really has a need. Let me give you a great example. There's so many women, there's so many poor people out there, let me back up on that. There are a lot of people, like seniors, single women who need help, and they may be in your neighborhood, in your churches and things like that. And they're struggling, they're good people, invest your money in helping people like that, especially seniors. So many seniors, they're living on a fixed income. From time to time, when you go shopping, buy something for them. You may have a neighbor that you may be aware of that doesn't know, that cannot get out and go shopping. They may not have a vehicle. They may have family members that care about them. Invest in spending time with them. Invest in spending money with them. You may have a single mother who has a lot of children, several children, all right? And she's not in a position where she can take care of all of them. Find yourself giving monies to her, someone that needs your help. So when you give, make sure that when you give, it's from the heart, because that's one of the most spiritual principles that God uses to bless us. When you open your hand, the word of God says it's better to give than to receive. Now, let me go over again what the 9 good habits are. All right. The first one again is they set goals, they are disciplined, and they plan. Number 2 habit, they know their assets. Number 3, they know what they are good at, and they make things better, handling things better. Number 4, they educate themselves about money. Number 5, they are smart about debt. Number 6, they invest their money. And number 7, they strategically select who is in their inner circle and their mate. Number 8, they have good health habits and apply the New Start principle. And number 9, they put into action having a relationship with God. Now, wrapping it up, financially successful people have good habits. They don't live above their means, they're aware of their expenses, and they surround themselves with like-minded, successful people, making the right mate selection. And the last but not least, having a relationship with God and understanding that his covenant with us is to be wealthy and successful in all of our endeavors. When you put these principles into practice, then you will be able to understand how wealth is built, how to go forward and be successful in every area of your life. Thank you very much.
Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Thank you very, 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 very much, Dr. T. Really appreciate that mindset. That was awesome. The 9 good principle, or 9 good habits.
Yes.
The 9 good habits. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And that was